All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the channel. I just recorded my Aries season reading earlier today, and the audio was all crackly for some reason. I wasn't sure if it's because I had, like, my video game still running in the background, or if it was, like, the heater. So I exit out of that game, and I also turned off the heater. So if there's like crackling in the audio, my apologies. But anyways, this is a pick a card reading on what is holding you back at this time. So the idea just sort of like came to me to do this. We're going to be doing 3 readings, so you can pick 1, 2, or 3, or multiple messages, whatever you want to do, and hopefully it resonates. And I've been really wanting to do more decks or incorporate more decks into my readings lately, but the next thing I have for a compromise is this. I've had this near me, but I kind of like forget about it. But I have kind of like my own homemade oracle deck, so it's, yeah, pretty cool. So I'll be using that at the end of the reading. But yeah, once you choose your pile, this is pile number 1, reading number 2, and reading number 3. If you feel drawn to any of those piles, I know it's a really weird setup that I just put my cards on a chair, but this is what we've got for the time being. But anyways, once you've chosen your reading, you can go to the timestamps that should be in the description box below, assuming I remember all the timestamps. I'm pretty sure I will. And yeah. I hope you're all doing well. If any of you are just kind of hanging out with me as I'm doing all this. It's been really interesting. One of my friends was emailing me and they pretty much kind of like gave me some advice, which is basically like focusing in on my like career and finances, which is basically the YouTube channel. And I was like, yeah, I know. And then I watched a tarot reading video from Mystic Moon. If any of you know her channel, she and I are also good friends. And in that reading, it was also talking about like focusing in on career. I think the first card that came up was like career change or something, which is kind of like the mood I'm in, which is just like some big life changes are going on. So I feel like a lot of my career life is going to transform over the next like few weeks and months and so forth. But yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. And then I discovered a new YouTube channel, and I watched a Pisces reading. And the very first card that came up was career and finances and passion. It was actually passion and then career and finances. But yeah, it was very, very cool. So for those of you who chose reading number 1, we are going to go ahead and get started. So what is holding you back? Let's take a look. We've got the 2 of Pentacles. With the 8 of Cups, okay, maybe you're feeling financially insecure. I'm literally just putting those words together. This is kind of like finances, and this is the insecurity card. The keywords on it are even hiding from judgment and insecurity. So, yeah, that's interesting. And the 8 of Cups kind of represents something different in different decks, like the Rider Waite Tarot. But yeah, in this one specifically, I definitely feel that vibe. And then we've got the 9 of Cups. Okay, so what's holding you back is your insecurity about a lack of balance between career and play, between or finances, or between financial stability or physical health, physical stability in some way, a balance between that or a lack of balance between that and like pleasure and fun and like joy and excitement. Yeah. And then the hermit card. Yeah, and like feeling like you still need to figure that all out and feeling really isolated from those things. So maybe what's holding you back is feeling left out or feeling alone on your journey at this time. For those of you that resonate with this for pile number 1, like you're missing out or something. And for whatever reason that feeling and like everything else that I mentioned, those are the things holding you back at this time. We also got the Ace of Swords, so maybe what's holding you back from all working through this is feeling like it's still seeking clarity. The Seven of Cups, yeah, really confused. And the Judgment card, and like really confused on what decision to make, but feeling like you need to make a decision anyways. But maybe in the past, you've found yourself when you make a decision and you make it quickly that you find yourself in a like feeling like you made the wrong decision or like you made a decision too soon. I don't know. So you like don't want to make the wrong decision here is what's holding you back. Like this maybe fear or insecurity about that like if you make a choice too quick, it could be the wrong choice. But also this anxiety that you need to make a choice quick. So there's something like that going on for what I'm getting for what's holding you back. Reading number 1. And yeah, I really am sorry about my setup. I know it's not ideal. It's difficult to see the cards and everything. But yeah. Also, if the voice or if this audio is really crackly again, my apologies. And my fix is that I'm just going to start recording on my phone again or like keep like debugging the mic that's with my webcam. I don't know. So let's see. Let's just kind of like flip some more cards because I want to end the reading on like an advice card on what to do to help move forward, to sort of have a breakthrough from what's holding you back, how to like overcome it. But I feel like I still want to know like what is it that's really holding you back. Reading number 1. Page of Pentacles. I mean, the message of finances just kind of like repeats itself in my head. The Two of Cups, yeah, and it's like the balance between like finances and like pleasure, play, love, you know, between like responsibilities and like just getting to live your life. So like, yeah. So I guess maybe what's holding you back is feeling like you have no offers, whether it's financially or emotionally or like romantically at this time. Like you feel like it's out of your hands, like it's outside of your control. And that's what I'm getting. The Three of Swords, heartbreak, still like, yeah, Six of Swords, still needing to move on from loss, needing to move on from heartbreak, from maybe like a past relationship or trauma. It doesn't have to be about a relationship specifically. It doesn't have to be about romance specifically. It could just be like needing to heal through heartbreak and heartache about I'm getting about childhood trauma. So that could be something for reading number one. Um, so yeah, I hope that resonates. Um, and like something holding you back is that, yeah, like feeling like you're still working through your insecurities and feeling like what you need. I feel like you already know what you need to do to like push through, which is like the hermit card to really like get back your life of like being the hermit. Maybe you're someone who generally feels like a natural at meditation, spirituality, all that sort of stuff, but you haven't had the time for it because things have been really out of balance in your like everyday life. So what's holding you back is that maybe you had a toxic situation or toxic relationship, so to speak, or if toxic is more of a harsh word for it, um, just something that left you deeply wounded as well, like wasn't the healthiest, you could also say. I'm just relating to this. Um, But like what made it that way was that it was really throwing things out of balance in your life. And it's like it was make or break for some of you. I'm just like going off my experience now. Not really just reading the cards. I'm just like now I'm just sharing. But how I'm relating is like what made it like it was make or break where it was like I knew things were unstable, but if we could stabilize, then it felt like I could have the best of both worlds. Like I could have a relationship that was thriving and incorporate like my actual life and routine and whatnot. But it just never came out that way. Um, which sucked. But yeah, it's okay if you guys don't resonate with whatever I'm saying right now. We're gonna get some advice. March 19th is the advice card. By the way, my oracle deck that's homemade is a calendar gifted to me by one of my best friends, I would say. Just like someone that I just feel like, I don't know, like one of my very first supporters on this channel. So, yeah. Um, and it says futile. So this is saying like, um, if any of you are wondering about going back to a past connection or past relationship. Of course, this doesn't have to resonate with you, and of course, you maybe everything prior resonates, but you disagree with this advice. That's totally fine. But the advice coming through is to leave the past behind, to run far away from it. Like that doesn't mean it has to be a complete and total separation in all forms, but like it can never go back to the form that it was. I mean, you could try and do it, but like the advice coming through at this time, if you don't want to be held back in this specific way, this challenge of needing to balance between like your stability and security and your like actual life and your love life and your dreams, your actual wishes of what you actually want to be experiencing, of having fun, you know? If you don't want to be held back by all of that, it's like the advice is like keep in mind that what didn't work before is not going to work now and might also not work later. So, and maybe that's a good thing, is what this is telling me. Like, so for some of you, you're going through some sort of like needing to move on from stuff. This doesn't even have to be connected to a relationship or a person. Um, just needing to move and move on from a certain phase in your life, you know? So, I hope that was helpful. And that's all I have. Yeah. Oh, actually, no, that's not true. This is somehow on the floor. I forgot about it. The card fell earlier when I was doing something. This was like maybe an hour and a half ago. And I was like, oh, I'm going to pick that up. That was probably a message. I think it's for right now. It's like, you need to speak your truth. Like, what's holding you back is not getting to speak your truth fully. Because perhaps you've been in a situation, or you were in a situation either currently or previously, like recently, like something along those lines, where you felt restricted and unable to speak your truth to the fullest. And your advice is to speak loudly, to like keep saying your thoughts. Like, you may have gone through experiences that were trying to tell you that you're too much, or you're too loud, or you talk too often. Now I'm seeing the childhood trauma thing for me. Like, I wasn't thinking about that. I just like said childhood trauma earlier, but like how I would connect this, I'm seeing it. Like, I was told those words, or like I would be saying stuff, and then like not even conversation, or mid sharing, that person would be like, I'm so sorry, but like I'm not listening to a single word you're saying right now, but you can keep going if you want. And I'd be like, oh, haha, that's okay. And like kind of try and finish my story, and then like that was it. And these were like my closest friends at that time. But my point is, like, some of you might relate to something like that, of somehow or another. It doesn't have to be that specific and literal, but somehow or another, like, you felt like your throat chakra was closing up. So, like, maybe something that will help you move forward at this time is to open up your throat chakra, get vocal. That's another message. Yeah. Something about this character that is a plus is that he's a very vocal character. Maybe connect with music. Yeah. So that's what I have for reading number 1. I hope that resonates in some sort of way. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. All right, for those of you who chose reading number 2, we are going to get started. So this is advice for the end. I'll look at that later. So what is holding you back at this time? We got the 7 of Cups, a waiting period, the Star card, hope. A feeling of hopelessness is holding you back. Worry in some form. The Sun card, and the 2 of Wands. It's like confusion, trauma, pain is what's holding you back. I would say. I feel like there's a lot of good things for you, but that pain that you're going through emotionally, and of course that all of our senses are connected, our emotions, our thoughts, and our physical sensations, our body, it's all connected. So of course, if you're emotionally wounded deeply in some way, you may also experience physical wounds, or symptoms or whatever with it. Just, you might have like a very rough journey that you've gone through at this point in your life. Like, you've been through a lot. And like, I feel like some of you are out there and are like, whoa, that resonates. Like, Yes. But also, like, sorry, I'm like laughing because I'm like, that's literally everyone. But um, but that's honestly what I'm getting. And it's like you have a lot of good things going for you. There's actually a lot of hope and positivity sort of surrounding your circumstances, but it's like the response time is delayed. What's holding you back is delayed communication. And like that's just literally what I'm getting because I'll just read to you the key words. It says stimulation, interaction, communication. So, like, quite literally, delayed communication really holds you back, reading number two. And I definitely get it. And that's why I'm laughing because I'm like, I know, like, one of my own insecurities is I'm like worried that like I'm reading for people, but I'm worried that the audience will just think that I'm only reading for me. But like I can't help it that these cards just come up this way. I mean, yeah, no, I can't. Like I was gonna say like maybe I should shuffle better, but it's like no, I literally don't know what the cards are. So like I literally can't help it. Um and yeah, for those of you who are wondering like how long that like insecurity's been with me about this channel, ever since day one, I always just assume these readings aren't gonna resonate with anyone and that like it's just me. But like sure enough, so many of you are so lovely and literally have given me feedback and let me know like uh given me confirmation that like these readings are actually resonating with people out there, that I'm not alone, that we're all connected in some way. So, anyways, something else holding you back is also that even though it's really positive, that it's like just like a beginning phase. So maybe some really good things have entered your life at this time, but it's just recent that it's happened. So it's everything is still really new. And there's this uncertainty that you're worried about and this confusion on if it's actually going to grow into something more or like, or what, you know? So maybe that's what's holding you back at this time. The Empress card, the Death card. So like your health is perhaps where you're at on your healing journey is another way to put it. The Queen of Wands and feeling strong and powerful and independent and reclaiming your independence as the queen and empress that you are. So that's holding you back at this time. Like really working through feeling like worthy and independent and powerful. So, really needing some self empowerment, I think, is something that you need, and something that's holding you back is not feeling enough in some way. For some of you who resonate with that. Um, and just yeah, you're really going through it. You're really going through a major transformation. I'd call it a glow up. You're definitely going through a glow up. Like it's good. It's actually a positive thing. um but the only thing really holding you back is fear, I would say. And then like um inconsistency from the outer world and maybe from your own routine or your own life. And I wouldn't think that those are your fault. I wouldn't say that those are your fault or anyone's. Well, I mean, your circumstances are what probably create that. But I'm basically just trying to say that like stuff holding you back doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. Um, oftentimes there are literally forces and like situations that are literally holding you back, you know? So I feel like these are one of those situations, reading number two, and that sure you've got your own internal work that you're needing to work through, but it'll be really synchronistic that as you heal through that these amazing blessings, sorry, enter your life at the same time or really blossom in your life at the same time. Because, like I was saying earlier, some really good things or people or experiences or opportunities have entered your life recently. So it could be blossoming as you work through things internally and go through your independent healing. And this isn't saying that like you have to be alone or that you need to fix yourself before you're like allowed to have these experiences or blessings or even money or for your career or like project to take off or a relationship. It's not like that. Because I'm sure a lot of you have heard like, oh, you have to love yourself, you need to learn to love yourself before you can love others or before others can, just like basically some weird roundabout way of telling people that they're alone because they have to be and that they should be until they're ready. But it's like, I genuinely believe everyone who's really lonely and wants connection, like, that the key is understanding that you deserve connection and that you deserve to not be lonely. And that it's like, I think it actually makes a lot of sense that if you feel like alone, that it's nice to have actual people who care about you. So, I don't know. It's just really weird. Like, I've heard that advice a lot, not just for me, but to people in general. And it just never sat right with me because, like, at the start of my journey this lifetime, I was born lonely and isolated, alone, and convinced by the world and convincing myself that I have to be okay by myself. And you know where that got me? It didn't really get me to anything specific that I wanted. It got me more loneliness, more pain, more people pushing it onto me that it's my fault that I am the way that I am. Just like, I don't know, it just didn't pan out well, like how the advice says it does, you know? So it's different for everyone because I definitely also have seen people where like they're constantly surrounding themselves with people and it's like it doesn't, and like not in like a healthy way. I'm not trying to judge other people's journeys really, but just like also judgment is kind of important, like making a judgment decision, a good call, good, you know. Um, so everyone's different, but yeah, I just want to really express that to you reading number 2 that like sure you've got self work to do and it's gonna be synchronistic that once you work through it that the people or the opportunities and experiences that you're looking for or the project that you've been really wanting to have the motivation to do or the energy or the some of you want a project but you don't have the idea for what the project is, like wherever you're at, um, you do deserve those things to be here now. um, but yeah, just know that like it is like going to be connected to your internal work. But again, I'm really trying to emphasize that even though you may have more self work to do, because that's always going to be a lifelong thing, you know, where you're perfect the way you are. Um, but it's okay that you're always improving yourself. That's not a bad thing, um, inherently, anyways. So yeah, just kind of keep that all in mind that don't hold yourself back from thinking that you have to have all your shit together, that you have to be completely independent and perfect and have worked through it all and that you're totally good on your own and now you can like go be with someone because now you can be totally fine if you don't ever find someone or not. something like that, it's like you're not bizarre, but like the fact that this world has led us on to believe that that's like totally normal or good, like good job, now you're independent, now you're an adult. Like I think that whole I think dogma is the word. I think that whole like dogma is bizarre. Like yeah, like you just like it doesn't matter where you're at. You deserve love always. Something like that is holding you back. So I hope that resonates in some way if those are good messages for you. So your advice to help you overcome whatever's holding you back. We get reliability, and we get the word comeback and time. Comeback time. Reliable and comeback time. Asking, reaching out, like connecting with others, communicating, and like putting in the effort to really like try and connect with people, meet up with people, like try to be more hopeful or positive about your situation. Like believe in yourself, believe in your team, believe in your loved ones, that everyone's going to do what they got to do, and that everyone's going to come out victorious, and that everyone's going to be okay. Like believe in yourself and your loved ones. Believe in this new like thing that has entered your life, this new opportunity, idea, project, person, or all of the above, whatever it is. I feel like new energy has definitely entered your life or will be. If if it hasn't, then maybe it's like maybe your own delayed response time is what's causing blockages there, that it's like there's people and like opportunities wanting to come in, but that like you keep holding yourself back, or like there's all these like arrows in you that like make it difficult for you to respond at like a quick time, or like in a timely manner. Time is a big thing. Like the word time here as your advice, like timing is really important. So this is your opportunity to really shine. This is your time to shine. This is your moment to be reliable. Yeah. Like be a straw hat. For those of you who know One Piece, like the straw hats are like the most reliable characters in the entire series. Um Even the one who's notorious for being unreliable turns out to be reliable. So you may have an insecurity that you're not reliable, but this is telling you that you are reliable, and that maybe what's holding you back is this fear and confusion of like being told differently from people who left harsh communication in you, negative feedback saying that you're not reliable, and like the this and this and that. I don't even want to like get started on the possible like negative things that you've been told, because that could be very triggering. I think tarot readings in general can always be triggering because there's just so much truth involved, or at least authenticity most of the time. Um, but yeah, that's what I have for you, reading number 2. I hope that made sense. And yeah, and like don't be afraid to reach out and to be more hopeful, and to try to be hopeful, try to be more positive about your circumstances, about these good things that have been entering your life. Try to be more optimistic about them. And let the negative things die. Let them die off. Let them go. That's some other advice. Yeah. So yeah, that was all. Have a good one, everybody. And I will try to be back again shortly in the near future. Take care. All right, reading number 3. Here we go. What is holding you back at this time? So we're going to look into that, and then this is like advice on how to overcome that, whatever it is. So we're getting the 5 of Wands. So now it's like all the readings kind of connect, but right off the bat, like something about internal conflict, because I in a recent reading that I watched, like I've heard the reader talk about like 5 of Wands has to do with conflict from others or from the world or from other people, things like that. But a lot of times for me, the 5 of Wands is about internal conflict, but also it's kind of situational, and it's sort of, they kind of go hand in hand, honestly. The conflict in general. So something holding you back might be conflict. Um, yeah. The keywords are intentions, strategy, and conflict. So if this resonates for you, something that might be holding you back is that your intentions versus your strategy are in conflict with each other. That's the first time I've ever read this card like that, but that's what I'm getting there. Then we've got the Comet, a sign of fate, harbinger of change, number 15. This is literally a card that's like about holding you back. So the universe is holding you back, and it's for a reason. So actually, reading number 3, maybe what's holding you back generally is something about just like conflict that like where you're at in life, like things have not perfectly fit together quite yet. Not all the pieces have been placed, or you've got all the right pieces laid out, but the wrong ones are trying to like fit together and they don't fit together. So there's something like that. But there's still the right pieces though. And I feel like that's really important to say reading number 3 for you reading number 3. Sorry. Sometimes I don't finish my whole sentence. And then like the other thing holding you back is that you're meant to be in this waiting period at this time, as frustrating as that might be, as much as that might create some internal conflict. So maybe you're not at the wrong time in life. You're right where you're supposed to be. But what's holding you back from the present moment and feeling good about the present moment is obviously feeling a sense of conflict with your circumstances and internally, and perhaps physically. And then we've got the King of Wands, needing to shed old skin. Yeah, old energy. The keywords are knowledge, ethics, and integrity. Something holding you back is you don't know what the right thing to do is. You're genuinely just trying to do what's right, and you don't know. Or like you maybe have some trauma where I see why the universe is holding you back. So this is what I'm getting. You are in conflict with where you're at because your intentions versus your strategy are in conflict with each other. Your intentions is that you just want to go for what you want. Your strategy is telling you to be patient, to wait, give things time. If it's about a person, give the person time. But really, you might just want to like go full force, green light on everything, and just really like be yourself fully. But you're like, no, 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 I should turn around and like, and I'll just walk back this way, and like I'm not gonna bother them. I don't want to be a bother. And the universe literally stops you from taking too many steps that way, because the universe is like, if you take too many steps that way, your energy is going to unalign from these amazing opportunities going that are happening for you. So funny enough, you're not actually really being held back. This is going to be kind of cliche, but if you're being held back at all, it's like you're holding yourself back. And part of you wants to run away and turn the other way, and the universe is holding you back from doing that. The universe, you're being held back from self-sabotaging, or from from things not going well. And that's a good thing. obviously. So, yeah. The moon, secrets, mystery, and cycles. Yeah, maybe being so secretive and closed in is something holding you back at this time. Yeah. So, the Hierophant, the Seven of Wands, the Star. And I'm kind of like reading these second sets of cards from the Rider-Waite Tarot deck as kind of like a mixture of what's holding you back as well as like what ideally is actually going on, of like how it's actually really moving forward even though you feel like you're held back, if that makes sense. Anyways, what's moving forward is you are paying attention, you are aligning with your truth, and you're being authentic at all times, even when you're choosing to take steps back, even when you're trying to be strategic despite your intentions wanting to just go for it. Or those can be swapped somehow. Like you might have the intentions of like being reserved, but your strategy is for whatever reason like getting out there in the world. It can be swapped like that some way or another, but whatever your intentions are and your strategies are, like the conflict between them, it's like all of that is authentic to who you are though, because you are real. And I feel like some of you for some reason really needed to hear that, because this world, for whatever reason, likes to challenge people in claiming that we're not real when we, like, quite literally are. So, Seven of Wands, something that you're doing, I think, is that you are standing up for yourself more often. In reading 3, against all odds, you're still being hopeful, or you're still allowing the hope to come in. So, yeah. But yeah, another way to read it is what's holding you back is that you're defensive to being optimistic and hopeful about your situation. Like you've got some walls up, and they're well-intentioned walls. Like you're trying to get what you want. Like they're strategic in a way. It's like you want it to work out, so you're being defensive. You're trying to be realistic. You're like, oh, don't get my hopes up too much. I'm gonna like play it safe. I'm gonna play it cool. I'm gonna like do some like trying to like strategize, but it's like that is kind of holding you back from just getting to feel complete and total hope. And yeah, that's what I'm getting there. So, what is your advice for helping you overcome whatever's holding you back? And just what's your observe? Your advice is observe, number 23. So meditate is something I'm getting. Like if you like nature or going out on walks in the nature, doing that. Something that will help you at this time is like, yeah, like smell the roses, like um, literally enjoy yourself, enjoy your life. Like literally do things that make you happy and relax and like watch the miracle unfold. So this is saying like also that like you don't need to like be a certain way or anything like that. Like these birds, you don't have to prove your worth to these birds. Like they're all getting to just like lay down and observe like the miracle and like have fun, like you know like you can have peace right now. And like take the pressure off. Like you don't have to like stress so much. I know that's all of that is easier said than done, but yeah, this is like it's cliche, but the advice is like try and be happy. Um, and you don't have to force it or fake it. Like if you're honestly sad, you know, you have a right to just feel what you're feeling. No one should ever try and constrain that and put you in a box. Um, but this is just saying like you're also allowed to feel happy. You can feel both at the same time. I often feel both at the same time. I meditated earlier, both for like a friend, but also obviously for myself. But like literally, someone asked me to like send good energy, and I was like, I'll literally do it, which was really good for me to do because I hadn't done like an intentional meditation in quite some time. But, anyways, during the meditation, I was feeling relaxation and then also like crying at the same time. So it was like happiness and sadness. Um, so, yeah, just like feel your feelings, like try to open your heart up. Um, if you can't do that with the world right now or with the outer world in some way or with another, open up with yourself at least. Like I do a lot of this opening up with myself, and that's already kind of hard. Like on my own daily, I constantly have walls up because lots of reasons, but like definitely the environment and the circumstances. This is like assassin ninja training is what I grew up in, and not like that's all like that's just like not fun. Like where you train yourself to like zen out and to like feel nothingness and to like be numb and like not don't react like mask your presence to like navigate and like maneuver your way through literally your own house. Like that's not a no one should be doing that, you know. So but anyways, my point is like even if like you have a tough time opening your heart up just by yourself, like the advice is to try that though. Like work on opening up your heart and maybe like lowering your guard with yourself that it's safe to do so. Kind of observe your situation if you're in a safe place. Um Safe environment to be you. Be you. Do it, you know? For me, this entire building or this house is not like a safe environment for me to just be me. But my room, for the most part, is. So I can still practice some of that. And it's still kind of restricted because I'm like, oh, I can't just be super loud. They'll hear me, you know? So it's like, I get it. But you can still feel your feelings. Let your face do what it does. Like, you know, express how it expresses. Like, I don't know. So that's all I've got. I hope that was helpful. I'm wishing you all well. And yeah, this is kind of like, I don't know, I haven't really done this sort of a topic in a while. So I hope this was a helpful topic for you all out there. All right, I hope to be back soon, and I'll talk to you all later. Take care. Oh wait, I actually need to record the timestamps before I end this video. Because yeah, otherwise I'll lose the timestamps and then I'll have to like sort through it all. All right, take care, everybody.